What really happened behind closed doors between Jungkook and Taehyung? Why is Taehyung now regretting a decision that shocked the army? Jungkook finally opened his voice, revealing all the secrets that had been hidden. Is this the end of their friendship? Or is it just the beginning of a new chapter full of unexpected emotions? Discover surprising answers that leave fans heartbroken and wondering what really happened. In the midst of the frenetic world of entertainment and the media spotlight that never dimmed, a rare and meaningful moment occurred. Jungkook, the magnate who has been known to be quiet but full of charm, finally raised his voice. The voice that millions of soldiers around the world have been waiting for. The voice that has always been a mystery in the story of their friendship is so close but complicated between Jungkook and Taehyung, but will all the answers that will be revealed bring peace or divide? Will Taehyung's confession of regret be a heartbreaking confession? Or is this precisely the turning point that strengthened the bond between them? Those questions loomed in the minds of many fans after this news came out. What's going on between Jungkook and Taehyung? What made Taehyung regret that he felt he had to open his heart to the public? Not just the usual rumors we hear in the celebrity world, but a true story full of inner conflict, sacrifice, and unexpected revelations. Jungkook, who has always been calm and full of depth, now dares to reveal the truth that has been hidden behind his smile and sharp gaze. Surprise after surprise came crashing down, breaking through the walls of silence that had been shackling their relationship. Taehyung, who is usually known to be expressive and cheerful, now looks different. In an emotional interview, he expressed his deepest regret, a shocking confession that left ARMY kneeling in shock and bewilderment. What exactly has Taehyung done? Why did he feel the need to apologize publicly? How did Jungkook respond to the confession? All this opens a new chapter that concerns not only their relationship as friends and teammates, but also how they deal with the cruel pressures of the world and endless expectations. Not a few are wondering, is this a harbinger of the beginning of a painful breakup, or is it a moment of maturity that will strengthen their friendship more than ever? What is the impact on BTS as a whole and the loyal fans who have supported them so far? This news is not only a matter of personal disclosure, but also a real mirror of the complexity of human feelings that are forced to live under a public spotlight that never subsides. Every word that Jungkook and Taehyung say holds layers of deep meaning, which stirs emotions and raises thousands of new unanswered questions. Behind the glitter of the stage and the glare of the dazzling lights, a much more complicated and twisted story is hidden. For years, Jungkook and Taehyung were known as an inseparable duo in BTS, symbolizing friendship and unshakable cohesiveness. However, recently a confession from Taehyung rocked the ARMY world. A confession that not only implies deep regret, but also opens a new chapter full of mysteries and unanswered questions. What did Taehyung regret? Is it a mistake that is hard to forgive? Or is there a pressure that has been weighing on him so far that he is forced to take drastic steps? And most surprisingly, Jungkook finally spoke, answering a riddle that had long overshadowed their friendship. So far, we've only gotten to know them through screens and social media. Good laughs, warm interactions, and charming chemistry. But who would have thought, behind that smile, there was an inner struggle that was never revealed? Taehyung, known by his nickname V, revealed in an exclusive interview that there was something he did, a decision he regrets to this day. "If I could turn back time, I would never do that," he said with a trembling voice, teary eyes, and an expression that described the enormous weight in his heart. Instantly, this statement aroused a wave of questions from fans and the media. What exactly does it mean? What makes him feel guilty and full of remorse? On the other hand, Jungkook, who has tended to remain silent and keep his distance from conflict, chose to open his voice. His calm but soulful voice became the answer to the mystery that had been haunting. Jungkook explained that Taehyung's decision was related to a small incident that developed into a big one in the public eye and even threatened the harmony of the group. A misunderstanding involving hurt emotions and unfiltered spoken words. Sometimes, in friendship, we can make mistakes. But that doesn't mean it all ends there. Jungkook said, trying to calm worried fans. The two of them have a bit of a clue as to what is going on. However, not without controversy. Some fans judged that this incident could be a stark warning for BTS to keep their internal relationship in check, while others worried about the possibility of a deeper crack than it seems. Taehyung specifically highlighted the moment in which he took a decision that unknowingly brought injury to Jungkook. What exactly is the verdict? Was it just an ordinary misunderstanding, or an act that deeply hurt feelings? My regret is not only about what I did, but also because I saw how it affected someone I considered a brother, he said in a low but firm voice. This recognition invites empathy as well as concern. How did Jungkook react? Does he forgive? Will their bond survive the storm? As soon as this news spread, the ARMY reacted very differently. There are those who feel heartbroken because they see that friendship that has been considered solid has not escaped conflict. There are also those who fully support these two idols, understanding that they are ordinary humans who also struggle with personal problems. However, there is one big question that cannot be avoided. Will this incident affect the future of BTS? Will their friendship and cooperation remain as solid as before? Or is this just the starting point of a major change that will have an impact on their career journey? Jungkook and Taehyung's story reminds us that behind the glittering scenes, celebrities also face complex human problems. Not all things can be solved easily, but their courage to admit mistakes and speak openly is an important step in healing wounds and rebuilding trust. It's also a valuable lesson for the ARMY and the public that true friendship is not just about laughter and happiness, but also how we forgive and understand each other in difficult circumstances. So far, we've only seen Jungkook and Taehyung through glass screens and grand stages, but the story behind the scenes is much more complex and colorful. Their seemingly perfect friendship turns out to harbor deep wounds. One of the most defining moments is when a supposedly simple conversation turns into a source of misunderstanding that triggers tension. During a grueling training session, Taehyung's unfiltered words make Jungkook feel offended. Little things that were not initially taken seriously over time accumulate and create a distance between them. Taehyung himself didn't expect the impact of his words to be that big. "I just wanted to be honest, but I forgot how those words can hurt," she said in a voice full of regret. However, it's not Jungkook if he lets the dispute ruin everything. In rare moments, Jungkook invites Taehyung to have a heart-to-heart talk with no third party, no camera, just the two of them revealing their hearts. "I know you didn't mean to hurt me. I also have feelings that are hard to express. We are both human," Jungkook said softly, conveying the feeling he had been harboring. The conversation became a turning point. Not only an admission of guilt, but also a deep understanding of how they must take care of each other's hearts, especially under the pressure of a world that never stops demanding. In the world of entertainment, perfection is an illusion. Jungkook and Taehyung are also humans who face mental and emotional exhaustion. Sometimes they have to hide their true feelings in order to maintain the image and happiness of fans. "I regret that I once let my emotions rule my words, but I learned that honesty must also be accompanied by caution," Taehyung said, showing the new maturity gained from the bitter experience. This recognition gives an important clue that behind their smiles, there is an inner struggle that has not been seen. Pressure from the media, fan expectations, and the burden of group responsibility make every little conflict can become a big storm. This news gave rise to speculation and hope at once. Fans are wondering, will BTS be able to weather the storm and stay together as a big family? Will the relationship between Jungkook and Taehyung be fully restored? Jungkook confirmed, "We're not perfect, but we complement each other. Every problem is a lesson. We are committed to moving forward together." Those words gave a glimmer of hope in the midst of anxiety. They show that true friendship is not only about being together in good times, but also the ability to face problems and stay afloat. One of the most touching moments was when Taehyung spontaneously wrote an open letter to Jungkook, which was then read out in front of the camera. The letter was full of confessions, apologies, and hopes for the future. "I don't want to lose you, not just as a friend, but as a brother. I'm sorry for any mistake I ever made." Taehyung wrote in ink that seemed to be quivering with his feelings. Jungkook, with teary eyes, countered that he accepted the apology and that their bond was much stronger than any issue. As soon as news of Taehyung's confession and Jungkook's statement spread, the media immediately reacted with a variety of surprising and sometimes speculative headlines. This news gave rise to speculation and hope at once. Fans are wondering, will BTS be able to weather this storm and stay together as a big family? Will the relationship between Jungkook and Taehyung be fully restored? Jungkook confirmed, "We're not perfect, but we complement each other. Every problem is a lesson. We are committed to moving forward together." Those words gave a glimmer of hope in the midst of anxiety. They show that true friendship is not only about being together in good times, but also the ability to face problems and stay afloat. One of the most touching moments was when Taehyung spontaneously wrote an open letter to Jungkook, which was then read out in front of the camera. The letter was full of confessions, apologies, and hopes for the future. "I don't want to lose you, not just as a friend, but as a brother. I'm sorry for any mistake I ever made." Taehyung wrote in ink that seemed to be quivering with his feelings. Jungkook, with teary eyes, countered that he accepted the apology and that their bond was much stronger than any issue. As soon as news of Taehyung's confession and Jungkook's statement spread, the media immediately reacted with a variety of surprising and sometimes speculative headlines. At a time when the world hopes for peace, a new wave of questions arises that makes the situation even more complicated. Various news portals released articles with provocative titles, from BTS friendship on the verge of a rift, up to the drama behind Jungkook and Taehyung smiles. Every word they say is analyzed and distorted, creating pressure that is not easy for both of them to deal with. Behind it all, Jungkook and Taehyung must fight not only against rumors, but also maintain their mental balance amid the never-ending frenzy. ARMY, a fan community that has always been known for love and support, is now at a crossroads between sadness and hope. They are divided between those who are devastated to see the cracks in the friendship they idolize and those who remain faithful to support with understanding. Social media was filled with a variety of emotional comments, from crying expressing disappointment to those that motivated the two idols to stay strong. Some also create special hashtags as a symbol of solidarity, such as #StayStrongJKV and #BTSFamily. The biggest question that comes to mind is, can their friendship be intact again? Has this been BTS's biggest test so far? A reliable source from within the group revealed that other BTS members were very supportive of the process of resolving this issue. They understand that conflict and misunderstanding are human things. RM, as the leader, reportedly facilitates an open dialogue between Jungkook and Taehyung, providing a safe space for the two to express their feelings without fear of being judged. Jimin, Jin, Suga, and J-Hope also actively provide strong moral support. This is clear evidence that BTS is not just a group, but a family trying to take care of each other. Despite the storm and his confession, Taehyung mentioned that his regret was not merely because of the words that were thrown, but because of a much bigger impact, the loss of trust and closeness that they had built up. "I fear that if that trust is lost, we will never be able to go back to the way we were. That makes me really sorry," he said. This statement makes us realize that behind the glitter of the stage and success, there is a human and so painful fear of loss. As a typically reserved magne, Jungkook showed remarkable maturity in dealing with these situations. He prefers to speak calmly, avoid drama, and listen more. "Sometimes I feel like I have to hold back my own feelings to keep things harmonious. But I believe, with honest communication, we can get through all this," Jungkook said. This attitude received great appreciation from the ARMY and the public, showing that he was not only an idol with a golden voice, but also a strong and wise person. This recognition opens a new chapter full of challenges and expectations. Jungkook and Taehyung's friendship is at a critical juncture. Will they be able to overcome the pain and disappointment to rise together? Or will existing wounds leave scars that are difficult to remove? The answer is not yet entirely clear, but for sure, their courage to open up and speak honestly is the beginning of healing. Temporary cover. A human story behind the sparkle of idols. Jungkook and Taehyung's story teaches us that behind fame and praise, there are real inner struggles and complicated emotions. This is not just celebrity gossip, but the story of two best friends trying to understand and